Hi, good morning. Kevin Martin here, your UT admissions guy, joining you today from Dallas, Texas. I'm here to share 9 tips for building your transfer application to UT Austin and ways that you can maximize your admissions chances. When you're preparing for transfer, the first thing I recommend doing is familiarizing yourself with prerequisites and eligibility. So, external transfer students need a minimum of 24 hours completed or in progress. So that means by the March 1 deadline for fall transfer or October 1 for spring transfer, you need on your transcript either claiming credit from AP or courses that are in progress at least 24 hours. You also need a 3.0 GPA for consideration, and admissions gives priority to applicants who have less than 60 hours, particularly for those who are already at a 4-year university. They're looking for eligibility for students who are current freshmen or sophomores. So if you're at a 4-year school and you're a junior or senior, you might want to consider finishing your degree there. You should also check out courses that might be specific to your major, particularly for economics, business, computer science, engineering, geosciences, and also pay attention to deadlines. My second tip is understanding the competition. So admissions, particularly for transfer, have gotten a lot more competitive in recent years. The admissions rate for fall 2018 was around 25% for all applicants, with an average GPA of a 3.75. So UT Austin is looking to admit transfer students who have almost all A's and maybe only 1 or 2 B's. It's also critical that you start the application process early. The biggest mistake I see all students make, whether they're first-time freshmen or transfer, is waiting until the last minute to start their application. Particularly for transfers, it's important to see how your credits transfer, also to request your transcripts, particularly if you've attended more than one university or earned credits from more than one college. And it's important to request those transcripts probably for fall transfers whenever you return back for your spring classes. So maybe in mid to late January, go to your college or university's registrar office or request your transcripts online. And you can send those down to UT Austin before you even submit your Apply Texas application. A lot of applicants for fall tend to work on their transfer essays and resume over the winter break. So that's after you finish your fall semester finals and before those spring classes get into full swing. So it's important to really spend and dedicate a lot of time on your essays and resume, considering how competitive UT Austin is getting. My fourth piece of advice is to demonstrate that you're a strong fit for your first choice major. So UT Austin is looking at a few criteria. About half of the admissions review process looks at your GPA. And if you're applying to STEM majors like natural sciences, computer science, or engineering, they're also looking for your coursework in STEM. So they want to see that you have, hopefully straight A's in any STEM or prerequisite courses. The other half of your admissions criteria is a review score. So every application that has a minimum 24 hours and a 3.0 GPA will be looked at, reviewed, and scored by a UT admissions counselor. So they'll assign you a score from 1 to 6, assessing your desirability and your fit for your first choice major and for the University of Texas overall. So it's critically important to focus on those essays and resume. There's also no typical transfer student. I'm really big on this messaging because the range of transfer students is much wider than there is for first-time freshmen, who overwhelmingly tend to be 17 or 18-year-old high school seniors. And so it's important in demonstrating your fit for your first choice major to really focus on your strengths and where you've come from, what your current situation is, and how UT Austin can help you achieve your goals. And that's particularly important, and this comes to my fifth piece of advice, is to spend time on that SAA statement of purpose. Because reviewers are looking for that you can come to UT Austin, do the work at a high level, but they're also looking to see exactly what your academic and professional journey is and how UT Austin can help you achieve your goals. And so for your resume, my sixth piece of advice is to tailor that resume, your academic and professional experience, to demonstrate fit for your first choice major. So Apply Texas has some categories that it's advisable that you fill out completely on your application, but for transfer students, UT Austin also requires you to submit a paper resume because there's a lot of limitations with Apply Texas. You can't develop it or expand upon your activities, and it's also a very rigid format. And so for that paper resume, don't be afraid to switch your categories around to demonstrate and tailor and prioritize your relevant academic, professional, or extracurricular experiences to demonstrate fit for your first choice major. So don't be afraid to put your most relevant experiences at the top of your application, particularly for those STEM majors that are going to look for relevant experience in computer science or engineering. Next, UT Austin, in addition to requiring SAA, also requires you to submit a second essay of your choice, so it's important to choose that second essay wisely. Most transfer applicants tend to submit that SAE issue of importance, and if you can tie that issue of importance to your first choice major, that might be important to personalize that issue and also demonstrate how you're a good fit for your first choice major. Some students will choose to discuss some special circumstances in their SAA statement of purpose, but if you feel like you need more space to discuss something relevant to your academic professional journey, a hardship, adversity that you overcome, consider submitting SAC special circumstances for that second essay. Next, it's not required, it's totally optional, but if you want to submit recommendation letters, it's advisable that you start that process early. Recommendation letters really, they rarely help, and so unless you have a supervisor or a professor that can really provide some new information or context to your application, ask that reference at least 1 month prior to the deadline to begin working on that recommendation letter process. Oftentimes, especially for transfer students or those who are non-traditional or have been away from the classroom for a while, it can be kind of more trouble than it's worth to get a recommendation letter. So unless you think it's absolutely necessary, I would kind of caution against getting securing a recommendation letter for your application. My final piece of advice is to utilize free transfer resources. So these were things that I did when I was a current student at UT Austin, to utilize the automated transfer equivalency system to see how credits at any public or private university in the state of Texas will transfer over to UT Austin. So whether you're a current student who wants to take summer classes guaranteed to transfer to UT, or you're a prospective transfer, you can Google this ATE system, and there's a whole portal of transfer resources that are official to UT Austin to help you with community college transfer guides and also required and prerequisite courses for a whole list of majors. You might also see some recommended courses, but those aren't all that important, particularly if you're applying to communications or liberal arts. But it is important to take classes within a core curriculum, so that way you're guaranteed to get credit for those courses whenever you do transfer to UT Austin. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll have more videos for specific advice to business, engineering, and computer science. You can also visit my website at www.texadmissions.com, and there's also links in the information section of this video for a free consultation and access to my book. Best of luck on your transfer applications, and don't hesitate to reach out to me directly at kevin@texadmissions.com. Thanks and have a great day.